All right, there it is, Matt Mosley. Oh, Twitter. Thank you, Twitter. Thank you, YouTube. Thanks our entire audience coming in. And pardon me for a little bit of a late arrival. I was checking some things and making some calls. And Scotty Swingler with me as always. Scotty's come back just with so much energy, ready to go following this break. I'm energized. Time with family, wonderful time. Friday, a rare Friday off. And then it's time now. Of course, I was out at the Cowboys the other day. Cowboys, huge win over the Chiefs. They take down the mighty Mahomes. And now even Scotty, I think, is kind of coming back up, kind of taking a peek over at these Cowboys, wondering, is this something we could think about? And then, Scotty, I have to say, and again, when you talk to Art Briles, and he has not done a lot of interviews over the past 10 years. In fact, I don't know. I think there's one floating around he did with Jason Whitlock from, a year or so ago or whatever. But we did the interview with Art. And, man, I was at that game the other day, and I know Scotty was headed over there after our Green and Gold game day, and the feedback on that, I was just so – and I know some people are going to say, why would you do that? Why would you talk to him? Why would you interview him? Listen, is it a news story that he's going to Eastern New Mexico and that he's, the greatest coach in Baylor history is after 10 years away, after nearly a decade away, as a coach? Yes, it's a news story. And so I felt like it was the appropriate time to interview him. And that interview, both the shorts and the entire interview that we've kind of put out there, has done phenomenal numbers because, people still care about him. And whether it's the negative or whether it's from a positive standpoint, that name still brings up a lot of, it gets people talking and reacting. So thank you for all the kind words and even some of the negative words. I get it. And I told you, it doesn't really bother me. I respect people that think maybe that, I shouldn't be interviewing Art. I can respect all the different points of view. I just kind of came to a point where I was like, I think this is an interesting enough story. And I think this might be a good time to get Art on and talk to him. And again, to a lot of people, I think they love seeing him and love his reaction. Also, thought it was interesting that he has been fighting an illness and seems to be doing really, really well. So that is good news. And it all led to yesterday's wild day of the coaching carousel. And I think for Baylor people, it's tough because, and please bear with me, which is taped on Sundays. Scotty, I think that people from Baylor have a hard time not looking at that through the lens of look at like the fan base in Florida, Arkansas, Auburn, all the different places, Michigan State, Kentucky fired its coach and will soon have a new coach. Like it's just everybody. I mean, I would say the majority of Baylor fans would love to be experiencing that right now. And because of this Mac nonsense and whatever he got involved in, Baylor could not have that. Baylor did not have that experience. And through a weird set of circumstances, Dave Aranda was saved. And his future with Baylor was saved at least for one season or a portion of next season. And oh, by the way, Scotty, I love the email that went out from Baylor that Dave Aranda, this is something I was beating the drum for back in 2021 after they won the title, they won the conference title. And in that year, I was like, man, all these other people are doing these signing day news conferences and press conferences and why is he not? Because they let Dave do whatever he wanted to do, and he didn't feel like doing one. Well, he has lost the right to turn everything down and not do media. And thank goodness, Brent Ingram and his talented staff over there, the SIDs, who have wanted Dave to do more media than he does. They seem to be in charge right now, and been given the green light to make sure that Dave Aranda does handle some of these media responsibilities. And so when this happens Wednesday, I believe today is the 1st of December. Can y'all believe that? Now it's time to get your Christmas stuff out there. Get the Christmas decorations. Get the trees up. Let's do the stuff. Now I'm not a pre-Thanksgiving guy when it comes to that. But now let's get with it. All right. It's kind of coming up on us pretty quickly at this point. We're in December. So let's get out. Let's put some holiday greetings together. Let's put some holiday, although the college kids who come home and seemingly should have been working on the lights and stuff during their Thanksgiving break. I didn't hear from them. Okay. I needed them to get over here and do some lights. You think I've got a broken neck that I'm, nursing from 5 years ago. Miraculously, I was not paralyzed in that cycling accident, but I know enough to not get up on a ladder on top of a house and climb around there. But lo and behold, on the 3rd, and I think somehow, some way, Scotty, do we have a time on this? Do we have a time on? Thank you, by the way. We have people on the commenting on the YouTube. This is Brock. Oh, Brock. Yeah, that's Brock Nowlin. His dad and I went to Baylor together. I know Brock. Brock's on here commenting. Brock was a member of the Phi Gams, just like his dad was. His dad was pretty rough on me during pledgeship, but a great guy nonetheless. But that's great. That's great. For all our Twitter audience right now, a lot of people through this whole Baylor thing have been like, what's Mosley saying? What's Scotty saying? And they've been coming to us throughout this. So large Twitter audience, I would just like to encourage all of you to don't hesitate to go over and join the YouTube channel. And you just subscribe, and then you start commenting, and then Scotty's able to take your comments and put it right to the screen. And lately we've had a lot of people getting involved in the show, and thousands. In fact, some of these interviews we do, some of these live things that we've done recently, you'll look up and they'll be like, I don't know. It'll be like 2,000 people just kind of sitting around. I don't know why. It seems like, I don't know what they're doing at work that they have time to do all this, but I love having them. And it's great to have them. Each day I have a new ball cap on. You might go, what's that, Mosley? That's for Lake Highlands, all right? Our season has come to an end, but my fandom has not come to an end. The Allen Eagles put us up. They put it to us. We had a tough ending to the season last weekend, but still representing as we start to focus on basketball season. All right. Boys and girls basketball season now. And we'll do that both, Midway. We've got China Spring, a lot of our local high schools. We've got a lot of ties out there, and we'll do some stuff. Lorena, we'll see what Conley's up to. And then we like to bandwagon things with the best of them. So like when La Vega goes on its inevitable state girls basketball run, we'll be right there with them. Okay, that's what we do. That's what we do over here at Rogue Media Network. All right, let me try to bring you the latest, and we'll get into, I'll tell you what, after we take a break, 25 after or something, we'll come back and do some Campus Confidential, and that'll be a heavy Kiffin. We'll want to do a lot of that. And in fact, we're going to let you listen to a little bit of Lane Kiffin's interview with Marty Smith from yesterday. We've got that interview for you as he was getting on a jet to go to Baton Rouge. Who in the world thought he would not do this? Why did I ever have a thought in my mind that Lane may show like he may not be able to leave these kids hanging? He might show some measure of loyalty to Ole Miss. No, Lane wanted it all. He wanted to have his cake and eat it too. That's what he said. He wanted it all. He wanted to go to LSU, take that job, but still be with those Ole Miss and still be loved by the Ole Miss fans. It ain't happening, Lane. You're either with us or you're against us. who's coming to Ole Miss? Who's coming to Vaught Hemingway Stadium or Hemingway, however you say that? Who's coming to the Grove next year? That'd be the LSU Tigers. If you go to one, now if you're AAC and you're going to another deal or whatever, yeah, stay behind. Coach your team. The James Madison coach, the UNT coach, the James Madison coach, who, Scotty, for some reason, because wasn't that where Signetti came from? Like in my mind, those coaches, the James Madison coach is supposed to be an old man, but the guy that's the actual coach there is not. I saw a picture of him today. Who's trying to hire James Madison's coach? It's hard to keep up with these guys. It looks like Pat Fitzgerald's going to go to Michigan State. I think that's a good hire. Get him back in the Big Ten. He was good. He got railroaded. They rode him out of town on some kind of hazing type deal that they never did quite prove. Ruined his career. He's back. All right. He's been cleared. They've cleared his name. Pat Fitzgerald's going to go back. He's going to be at Michigan State, a place they don't have any problem with scandals. They love a scandal, love a good scandal there. So they're not going to hold that against Pat Fitzgerald as he comes back. JMU, though, James Madison. Scotty, where's James Madison's coach going? Because I've been more focused on all these SEC coaches. American Athletic Conference coaches. Oh,
UCLA.
That's right. Well, you know it's a busy coaching carousel when UCLA is about 8th or 9th on the list. Okay, they're not even sniffing the top 5. In fact, I would almost put some of these group of 5 openings above UCLA. I guess you have to give it to them because they're Power 4. Is that a better opening than Michigan State? No, you got more resources and more people that care at Michigan State. At UCLA, you got the beautiful weather, but you don't have like a fan base that cares that much. You don't have great NIL, but I guess it's all relative because the guy from James Madison will probably get to UCLA and think, oh my gosh, look at all this NIL. Look at all this portal business. Now, a lot of our people jumping on, hey, Mosley, what do you know about Baylor? I had people when they lost, of course, Scotty and I were there. We were out there. I was at that Houston game. It's just like it always is. I mean, you can just write it up. It's 24-9. Bears are down. Things don't look good. Here come the Bears. They go for it. They go for 2. 24-17. Here they come. I mean, just rifling the ball down at the end of the game. They're going to go down there. Should they go for the win? Should they go to OT? What are they going to do? And then they don't get it in. And again, like, were we dying to go to a bad bowl game? No. Would it have been nice for some of the seniors and the players and the seniors that are getting ready to go be in this draft and the Senior Bowl and all stuff? Sure. I'd love to see Sawyer play again. Josh Cameron, the whole gang. I mean, seeing Sawyer kind of for the final time the other day, I got to say, I don't get real sentimental unless my daughter's like leaving for college. Now that about wrecked me. Yeah, get ready for that one in about 16 years, Scotty. That'll do you no good for your soul. But hey, the sun comes up the next day and you go on with your life, and then you get excited about them being in college. By the way, Scotty, she was not pleased Friday evening. The old Fighting Ags, Texas A&M Fighting Ags, go out there and get beat by the Horns. And the Horns, and I kept telling people, I kept saying, I don't know about this. I don't know. And the Horns were down 10-3 at the half, and then they found a way. And boy, I've heard people talk about that atmosphere. Oh, that's a rough atmosphere. Texas, even outside the stadium. That's what it is, man. That's the way it is, because the biggest difference in those two fan bases is this. In Austin, tailgating and whatever that scene is like, you got a bunch of non-graduates who are huge UT fans. At A&M, you might have a little bit of that, but for the most part, those are people that at least went to school somewhere around there. Maybe they went to Blinn, maybe they went to JUCO down the street, but they have, maybe they were just in 4-H or FFA or something, but they got some connection to that university. At Texas, they're just like, where are the T-shirts? Y'all know the way to Academy? You guys y'all got some gift certificates over here to Academy? All right, now we're UT fans. It is a bandwagon front-running group. Now, that's not to say that they don't have some people who are dyed-in-the-wool fans, but if you're in a Texas stadium, University of Texas Stadium, and you start kind of going around to even the students, like, who do you like at running back for you guys this year? What do you think of this Baxter? What do you think of him? They just look at you like you were crazy. They know Arch, and they might know that kid Parker Livingston. I don't know if they could. I mean, they just, not going to be able to get you a lot of players. It's a fan base that doesn't really know its team. And that's okay. That's okay. It's a front running fan base. It just is. It just is. But again, they also have some great fans along the way. And what they have also is some good lawyering. I mean, I went to law school, didn't quite make it all across the stage at the end there. I didn't quite sit for the bar, but I did attend Baylor Law School. These UT people, whether they went to law school or not, they're good at lawyering. And Sark, after that game, he was in rare form. He had all his talking points. There are some coaches that are better at talking points than other coaches. Like Scott Drew is tremendous at being handed, like David Kay will hand him all these great, unbelievable talking points. And Scott, he's good at it. He knows how to, and boom, 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 it's all up there. Sark was like that the other day. You would think that Texas is undefeated. You would think, honestly, that somebody evil in college football made them go play Ohio State. Wasn't anybody from Texas, but they sent them up there, and it was punishment for something somebody had done from previous administration. All right? And maybe it was. Maybe Del Conte and Sark can say, somebody else did that to us. Maybe they can blame that on Steve Patterson, that horrible AD that was prior to them. Maybe they can blame it on somebody else. But they did go play that game, but they don't want that to count. They only want that to count as a positive, all right? They did get beat by Florida. What Florida finish the season? 4-8, 3-8, 3-9, something. I mean, not good. Not good. The old Florida Gators bit them, though, when they went up there to the swamp. But Texas says, we beat A&M, we beat Vandy, we beat these 3 top 10 schools, we beat OU. All these schools are either knocking on the door of the top 10 right now, or we're in the top 10 at the time they beat them. All right? So Texas says, give us our spot. We're sorry, BYU. We're sorry, Notre Dame. We're sorry, Miami. We're sorry, all you people. Get out of our way. We are entitled. We should own this spot. All right. And that, again, do I sound like a person that went to the University of Texas? Well, that's kind of. I mean, that's kind of how they present things. That's okay. That's okay. I got great friends there. I got more. I think if I had to rank the amount of friends, I got great friends that have gone to all these schools. But here's what I would rank them. After Baylor, of course. Baylor, number 1. Texas A&M, 2. Texas Tech, 3. Horns, 4. TCU, 5. I really don't know any Rice people. I mean, I'm sure that I do, but then they're nice. Shelby, the daughter of the Livingstones, President Livingstone. Well, they were there the other day at that news conference. Dave's last stand. Dave's in there. I mean, again, circumstances dictate that Dave Aranda, if he hadn't already been fired after the Utah game, should have been fired the other day after they finished 5-7, missed a bowl game. That should have been the time to do it. But 2 weeks ago, week and a half ago, or whatever, they came out and said, no, Dave's coming back. So Dave then gets up there, does the same, feel horrible. I don't know. Wish we couldn't stop the quarterback. We had the quarterback finished up, whatever. I mean, I think what it might have been, if Dave wanted to get a little better with the fan base, you know what he would have done, Scotty? he would have said, Big 12 officiating stinks. They ripped our helmet off, although I don't know. I mean, I watched that play, and I'm not totally sure that was again, you could make an argument on that. First of all, stop throwing the freaking fades on some of these plays. My gosh, sick of seeing that. But on the biggest play of the game, they throw to the end zone, and I believe it was number 1. He's their best defensive back for Houston. He absolutely arrived early. It wasn't like, oh man, that was a bang bang play. Boom. He hits the receiver. Receiver doesn't have a chance to make a play on the ball. It's interference. They don't call it. Don't even get that call at home. And why do you not get a call at home? Well, maybe there wasn't anybody in the stands. All right. I mean, you're going to bring back a coach. You had some. I will commend whoever came back for early, the freshmen or the seniors who are running the Baylor line. Kudos to you. I am not going to sit up here and rip those kids because there was a decent amount of Baylor line people. All right, for that situation. Okay, we're not A&M. All right, we're not Auburn. We're not Alabama. We're not Michigan. We're not Ohio State. We're not going to show up when we stink. Okay, and people say, Matt, how could you talk about those players? Like, I'm not talking about them. There's no one that loves Josh Cameron and Sawyer Robertson more than I do. I mean, Devin Bobby, keep naming them. I love it. I mean, I love a lot of these players. But as a program, they did not deliver. And then I'm getting into this other thing again, and this is an old talking point from 2023 where everybody gets into, we got the talent, the players are great, and the coaching. Well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You're 5-7. You want to have a big debate again over was the talent there? Was the talent not there? I mean, they obviously were in enough games. They should have been at least bowl eligible at a minimum. So you have a coach who in the past 2 of the 3 seasons has failed by any measure, and you're going to bring him back because your AD went and got caught up in something ridiculous. All right. Again, do I still like Mac? Sure. Should Mac get to be an AD again? I'm hearing maybe, it is his alma mater, Arizona. If there's an opening there in the next year or so, he'll be there. Good for him. Good for him. I would not begrudge him. He did a lot of great things at Baylor. Now he put Baylor in peril. All right. Now everybody's like, well, he's not around. Everybody could get mad at him, but they wouldn't know where to find him. Okay, he's holed up somewhere, which is fine. All right, if I got in the doghouse and gotten myself in trouble, I'd go hole up too. I'd go. He's gone to a place of shelter, and that's a good place to go during stormy times. President Livingstone, where was she the other day? Well, she was there. She's been very visible. I was in the post game, and I want to say about the game the other day, I am so more than anything, I'm just glad Caden Knighton's okay. That was scary. They stopped the game for like 10, 15 minutes, had to take the face mask off. It wasn't moving. And that's a scary, scary deal. It's a young freshman running back for the Bears. Bryson got hurt on the second or third game of the deal. Michael didn't even play in that game. He was hurt. He didn't even play in that game. Turner. So, but he's okay. He's moving his arms and legs. He was saying he's going to come back stronger. Caden Knighton is okay. And that was great news. And that, to me, if you have a heart at all, that's what you need to be asking Dave Aranda right after that game. Not like, Dave, what about your future? Like, and Baylor did a good job of getting that news out there, but I wanted to hear it from Dave as well. So I did ask Dave about Caden Knighton. He's okay. And so Dave was also asked about, just what he has to do. And Scotty, I meant to tell you, we'll get that for tomorrow. In fact, Wednesday, I may have to be there in person for that. Dave's going to be there to talk about a recruiting class that, as we speak, is falling apart. All right. Some of the top players on that, the Jamarians, I think there's a third Jamarian the Bears may hold on to. Jamarian Vincent, Carlton is flipped to Texas. They flipped him. And Jamarian Vincent has flipped to Michigan. I think there's one more Jamarian. We think he's maybe solid. There's another kid that Washington's after, and his name is Jordan Clay. And we like him. He's been a guy that Baylor thought they were hopefully going to be able to hold on to. Now, not so sure. Now, is there any silver lining to this? The only possible silver lining is, again, I don't know. When you lose a kid to Texas, what you'll invariably hear is that Texas paid him enormous money. Let's say it's $1 million. And that's still a big amount to pay a freshman kid. I don't know if that's totally accurate or not. That's kind of what I was hearing. All right. Is that a wise choice for Baylor to be spending on 17 or 18-year-old kids $1 million for one kid? For Baylor? No. Because they did it. They spent a whole heck of a lot of money on Cameron Morgan and Caleb Burns. And Morgan, again, I pray that he's good someday. As a true freshman, it's way too much to expect. Could Burns be good someday? You bet. Were those guys good this year, ready to go? No. Did the Bears go out and just completely just get wiped out on nose tackles? Can you remember that, Scotty? Samu, somebody from A&M, and then another guy, like these big defensive tackles. We thought, okay, here we go. I think one of them, I'm trying to remember who was from Tulane. It might have been Fobbs White. Actually was okay for the Bears, who played kind of a pass rusher, edge type guy, linebacker, hybrid, whatever. But the two guys they brought in to try to help them at nose tackle, bad. So what did Dave say? Dave's like, we've got to start and build from inside out. We got to go out in the portal. So what I'm trying to finish saying is the silver lining in losing these good recruits who, by the way, that was part of President Livingstone's message. Keep Dave. Don't have an AD right now. Wouldn't be prudent. Let's keep this talented class together. The class broke apart anyway. Now, silver lining. Rather than get two big-time starting portal people, how about you try to go get 4 or 5 of them? How can you do that? Well, the big money you were spending on Carlton and Vincent, let's say you were paying them a combined $1 million. I don't think that's completely out of the realm. It might not be quite that much, but somewhere in the between those two players, those were both 4 stars, probably your top guys in the class. You were paying somewhere, and somebody might make an argument for the quarterback up there at Liberty, but whatever. Your top, let's call those your 2 top players. You're going to give those guys somewhere combined $700,000 to $1 million. Now you take that money that you're going to spend on them, and you could put that in the portal. All right. So, you ought to be able to get you 2 pretty good players, 2 pretty good starters from the portal, 2 or 3 with that money. Now, Jordan Clay, who you're probably going to give, I don't know, $300,000, let's say, to. Jordan Clay. Here, the going rate for a really good starter, if you want to get in the game, you better be out there spending $200,000 to $400,000 for these kids coming from Group of 5. If you want to go try to get a starter from like a Power 4 team, it's too much. It's too much. You're talking about needing to spend $500,000 to $1 million. Okay, think about how excited we were. Oh, they got a kid from Oregon. I didn't see much. We got a kid from Northwestern. He got hurt. He got hurt. I think that was there was a Trey Turner and then there was a Devin Turner. I believe Devin's the one who got hurt, and we never saw him. Okay, that's the kid they got that's supposed to be so good from, I believe, Northwestern. Trey comes in from Oregon, was just kind of hit or miss. I mean, I saw him out there running around. I mean, again, they have to purge some of this roster. There's a lot of work to be done. And we've got some recruiting experts that I'm lining up. In fact, there's one guy that's like really, really good that I try to have every signing day. And he's great. And I'll try to have him on Wednesday. And then we'll try to attend if I can somehow make it work. It's hard with a 1:00 live show, but we'll try to be there for Dave Aranda's media time, because I think that's important. I think that's important to attend that. All right. Thank you, Central National Bank. Thank you for what you do. Boy, thank you. All our sponsors were real excited about Bryles. In fact, C&B did the Bryles luncheon. That Bryles speech that he did over at the Texas Sports Hall of Fame, they were the head sponsors for that. So that was really cool. Ascension Providence, we appreciate you and your talented doctors. Alan Samuels, those trucks, I saw some of those trucks out at the game the other day. Wow. I will be in one soon. I will be, by hook or by crook, I'm going to be in one of those gorgeous Alan Samuels trucks. Thank you so much. Thank you, Alan Samuels. And then again, the other day, the big volleyball signing party that was happening just the other day, I believe that was Saturday, was happening right over there at the Brazos Landing. All right, we'll be at the Brazos Landing soon. So again, thank you to all our wonderful sponsors and partners. We appreciate you. All right, we've come out strong. We had a lot to share. Scotty and I are about to, though, get into the coaching carousel. It is time to talk about, did Lane do them wrong? Did Lane Kiffin do them all wrong? And how much, as a Baylor fan, how much did yesterday just make it hurt even more? All these new faces and new coaches. How much did it hurt to see it all happening? All of that on the Mosley Show next.
If you want the best for your body, you want Ascension Providence, the largest sports and orthopedics group in Central Texas. Using innovative and cutting-edge technology, we're able to understand your body better than ever, delivering treatment with precision. And with our fellowship-trained and board-certified doctors, you'll receive excellent care. Work with a team dedicated to your health, wellness, and safety.
So you can perform.
At your best.
Ascension Providence, caring for Texas families for over 120 years.
When you strive for greatness, you have a target on your back. And when it comes to finances, we're all targets for scammers. With the right game plan, you can protect yourself. Don't get faked by fraud.
Here's a tip. Don't click on links in emails and text messages. Scammers send emails and texts that look real, saying there's a problem with your account or your order. Don't click. Don't do it, ever. Instead, go directly to the company's website and log in there.
This message is brought to you by Central National Bank.
Baylor Nation rolls along with Alan Samuels Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Start with award-winning service and factory-trained techs. Then shop our new and used lineup from cars, trucks, to SUVs, all makes and models. Running a business? We're your Central Texas headquarters for ProMaster vans, cabin chassis, and work trucks. For power and comfort, test drive the Ram 1500, the Motor Trend Truck of the Year winner again. Alan Samuels in Waco, proud partner of Baylor Athletics.
Come by, let's be friends.
Bubble wasn't here, I don't know what people would be doing, like making PowerPoints or something. I love that I can sit down and build something the way that I think it should be built.
Bubble turns ideas into fully scalable apps. Try Bubble today.
At Covers and All, we've revolutionized protective solutions with cutting-edge, customizable covers, tarps, and curtains. We deliver premier protection at affordable prices and express shipping. Visit coversandall.com today for the perfect fit, guaranteed to last.
Better sleep, inspired by nature. Your back, hips, and shoulders will fall into perfect alignment in any position, meaning that you get deeper, more comfortable rest. Visit ecoterrabeds.com.
Cleanse your body of accumulated toxins and embark on your wellness journey at your own pace. At Global Healing, we provide premium supplements to help your body heal naturally. Start your healing journey today at globalhealing.com and organichemp.com.
Relax with Hemp Delicious. Organically grown hemp, massively blended with delicious organic herbs, responsibly sourced for their holistic benefits. Each sip offers calming, antioxidant-rich wellness. Brewed just for you. Sip the calm with Hemp Delicious.
Is your Mac running slow? Mac Booster 8 is your all-in-one solution to clean up 20 types of junk files. Get your Mac running like new again with Mac Booster 8. Visit macboost.net today.
I know you're gonna love this Kodak Dot Plus printer. You guys just connect it to your smartphone. I can assure you, you are going to love this printer as much as my family has. You guys have to check it out for yourself.
At Matt Piffle, we believe in celebrating your journey. Our unique personalized products are designed to boost your confidence. From custom home decor to meaningful gifts, we help you cherish the memories that make you who you are. Visit mappiffle.com and start celebrating your story today.
Streamline event and appointment booking with Amelia's sleek, modern, and fully customizable booking forms. WPAmelia.com. That's WPAMELIA.com. Amelia. Nalgene Outdoor has been your trusted companion, fueling adventures and helping protect the planet. We're committed to reducing waste, improving access to clean water, and providing simple, safe, and sustainable products for you and your family. NALGENE.com.
A house is a property, but we live in homes. Home sweet home. Homes where the heart is. We aim to deliver the best home buying and selling experience so you can spend less time real estating and more time living.
WhyPersonalLoans.com. Request a loan anytime. Our partners can offer loans up to $35,000 with varying rates and terms. Review your loan offer with no obligation and decide what works for you. Visit PersonalLoans.com today.
This is what $500,000 in a duffel bag looks like. Actually not real. That's because it's actually prop money. It looks realistic from a distance, but up close you can see it says for motion picture purposes. Visit PropMoney.com today to get your money seen or money shot right with Prop Money Inc.
With San, owning iconic furniture no longer requires paying a premium. With over 15,000 satisfied customers worldwide, we've proven that high-quality furniture doesn't have to come with a high price tag. Explore our collection today at san.com.
The U-Like Air 3, launched in 2023, ushers in a new era of sapphire ice cooling technology, offering nearly painless hair reduction in just 3 weeks. That's ULIKE.com. U-Like.
VivoSun's mission is to empower growers with stylish and effective products, making indoor growing accessible and enjoyable for everyone. Visit vivosun.com today and get started making growing plants and vegetables easy and automatic.
All right, it is the Mosley Show, rolling along on YouTube, getting set up for signing day. And we won't try to have 7 or 8 guests or anything like that, but we'll try to get some, at least one major, like recruiting insider. I hated to see Scotty, my buddy Will Turboff, who did such a great job on Baylor recruiting, and then he went to cover for 247 University of Texas. He's left the business to actually work in Austin for one of those like NIL marketing agencies, or he's interning for that. I like what the young Turboff was doing in the media space, and he really had some good stuff. And so I was I was because he would have been good on talking about Jamari and Carlton and some of that stuff. So interesting stuff going on. We'll have all that lined up for Wednesday, and then Dave Aranda will be doing his thing. But Scotty, why don't you join me now for a little campus confidential as we get ready to take a peek. Oh, there it is. I love seeing it. I love the way it looks. That is the graphic that gets people excited about college athletics, all the things that are going on. And Scotty, yesterday was one of those wild days. And quite honestly, it was more exciting and interesting than anything that happened on the field.
Yeah.
Starting Thursday through Sunday. And I would say most times you could never in a million years, Scotty, upstage the NFL. But as I tweeted yesterday, I felt like the Kiffin thing and all the stuff that was happening, and then the Arkansas fans were not happy about their hire. I thought maybe the college football coaching carousel, and maybe it's because the Cowboys weren't playing, so we weren't maybe quite as locked in the NFL as usual. But that carousel, that was big doings yesterday, and that was fun, Scotty, to kind of watch all the reporters gather little nuggets from Oxford and then literally watch all the planes take off from place to place, both from Baton Rouge to Ole Miss, and then watch Lane take off from Ole Miss, and then to see the Ole Miss people that went out there and were giving him giving him a hard time, as you would expect.
They were gesturing. Gesturing.
Obscene gesturing was seen. But Scotty, what do you have for us? Where do you want to start as we start to relive the moments of yesterday and then college athletics in general in this episode of Campus Confidential?
Well, I'd really like to get to all of the coaching hires, but we got to start there, right? Like the Lane Kiffin thing, I thought it was not a surprise, the decision to go to LSU. That was pretty apparent, 10 days ago or so when Ole Miss put out that very awkward statement about the decision being announced after the Egg Bowl. I thought that was your sign, right? It is interesting, Matt, and we can draw a direct contrast here. Supposedly what took the announcement into yesterday afternoon was Kiffin was really intent on and trying to negotiate a way in which he could coach this team through the rest of their postseason. And Ole Miss gave him a hard no, which I can understand from Ole Miss's perspective. That being said, on the other hand, and it is different because you're not a conference rival, and there's even some difference between a group of five and a power four team. But Oklahoma State early last week, agreed to a deal with Eric Morris to be their next head coach. And he is going to coach UNT through their postseason. And, if UNT were to win the American Championship this weekend, they will make the college football playoff. And we presume Coach Morris will coach that. And so that was of interest to me, Matt, is this and then Kiffin, of course, making it public and crying about it a little bit was not a surprise. But, I mean, big picture, college football's got to figure out this schedule and how these things line up. But in the meantime, what do you make of that a guy like Lane Kiffin can't coach his team through the postseason, but Eric Morris is going to get to?
I think it's completely appropriate to not let him do that. I mean, in Eric Morris's case, I don't believe Oklahoma State and North Texas are playing next year, obviously not in the same conference. And in this case, Ole Miss is hosting LSU next year. So Lane's coming back, which will be delicious to see how that works out. But that never made any sense to me. Chris Doering threw that out first, and then Booger McFarland jumped on that. Remember where he played? He played at LSU, saying Lane should get to coach the Ole Miss. It's like, I think maybe it was SVP or somebody who basically was like, it's like, I'm going to go live with the family down the block. But before I do that, I'd like to stay and spend Christmas here, and then I'm going to go, join and be with another family down the deal. It just doesn't work like that. And plus, two, it's a competitive thing. They're in the same conference. They're after the same type players. And Lane's going to try to take some of those players with him to LSU, namely that Trinidad Chambliss. And so you've got a competitive situation happening. So it put everybody in a weird spot. But for him to kind of act like, oh, my gosh, I love Ole Miss and I want to stay and coach these guys. If that's really what you wanted to do, coach them in the playoffs, the only route to do that was to stay at Ole Miss and live to fight another day. And I'm sure people will be like, well, he only maybe was going to get this shot at the LSU job once. Well, okay, that's fine. He's done it now, but he becomes the first and probably the right guy to do it because he was already hated by a lot of the Tennessee people, and now he'll be hated by the Ole Miss people. But he doesn't always seem to mind that. I had to talk with somebody recently, and they were some people were mad at him. And I told him, I said, listen, I've had times, even back when I was in, I made a whole, I made a lot of people at Baylor when I was like an undergrad or right after mad with the decision I made. And like, you either have to sit there and embrace it and like almost like embrace being the villain. And you hate to do that, but at some point you just can't sit there and worry about it. But again, Lane's somebody almost like professional wrestling that he almost seems to feed off of it and likes to tweak people who are mad at him and all that kind of stuff. But I do believe that he does feel bad about leaving, but he doesn't feel bad enough to stay. And I'm sure the thought was, from an ego standpoint, you stay in Ole Miss, you stay and you could keep winning games and you could be there for a long time. Or you go to LSU, it's a completely unreasonable fan base, way more unreasonable than Ole Miss. Their governor, everybody's unhinged there, but it's LSU. It's a monster job in college football. There's Ohio State, Michigan, LSU, Texas, OU has been up there at times. I mean, there's just a handful of monstrous jobs. And because of Saban, and then some of the stuff that happened after Saban, I mean, Les had his time there. Won a national title, I might add. Coach O won a national title. There's just it is a different level than Ole Miss. But now, is it a better job? It depends on what you mean by that. Because if it's about stability and where you can stay the longest, the better job's absolutely staying at Ole Miss. But I'm sure, I just don't think Lane is wired to stay at a place for very long. And 6 years for him is like 20 years for somebody else. In his mind, he's 50. This may be the last chance he gets to go get a monster job. And he's going to be paid like the highest paid guy. Like if he wins a national title, they'll bump him up to the highest paid coach in all of college football. And he's going to make $13 million. And the other one, Scotty, that I'm sure you were about to bring up, but I'll go ahead and bring it up. The funny thing about this is, and I'll tell you what we'll do, Scotty, we'll save our Lane thing for the 2:00 hour. We'll show you Lane's interview because some of it did kind of make me laugh. But they did such an unbelievable job negotiating the LSU deal that if Ole Miss somehow wins a national title or they win a game or two in the playoffs, all the bonuses that he was supposed to get from Ole Miss, LSU is going to pay him those bonuses. This is after the governor making a big to-do in LSU in Louisiana of this new contract. This next contract will not look like the old one that they did. He thought they did a horrible contract for Brian Kelly, and it doesn't look like it at all. It's way more. It's way more. I don't know if we know what the buyout is yet. But I think the buyout's going to be enormous. I see like 80% of it's huge. It's huge. So anyway, we'll let you see some of that interview coming up. All right, Scotty, back to you. What else do we have for Campus Confidential? Which of these other hires? I'm kind of interested, Scotty, in your thought on like of the Auburn hire, Arkansas hire, and the Florida hire. I like people who say Florida. I wish I said Florida. It doesn't come out like that for me, but I love people that say Florida because that to me that sounds kind of Southern, and I would like to be able to say that. Scotty, of those, or maybe there's another sneaky one out there you like Michigan State hiring Pat Fitzgerald, but any of these other hires, which of those other SEC schools you think did the best after Kiffin? After
I was
LSU?
going to ask you the same question, actually. So,
I've got an answer.
I want to broaden it out, not just SEC schools. The run here over the weekend and into today is these excellent group of five coaches getting hired at the Power 4 level. So, as you mentioned, Ryan Silverfield of Memphis gets hired by Arkansas. Alex Golesh of South Florida to Auburn. John Sumrall of Tulane will be at Florida. Tulane about to play against North Texas in that conference championship. Eric Morris of North Texas to Oklahoma State. And then just a few hours ago today, UCLA hiring JMU's Bob Chesney. So these very, very successful group of five coaches, there was kind of a run on them. And I was going to ask you which you thought was the best. I think Alex Golesh at Auburn could be a really, really good thing. I was really impressed by USF this year. I know they did not make the conference title, which was a bit of a letdown, but played with some Power 4 opponents, dynamic offensively, team energy, effort, physical football. I think USF had a lot of those marks, at a lower level, and he's going to be able, kind of like, Coach Signetti did, bringing about 20 of his best players from James Madison, who were instant contributors at Indiana last season for that playoff team. Golesh is going to be able to bring 10 to 15 of these South Florida kids, the best of the best, to be instant impact kids at Auburn, along with all of the players and recruits you're already getting at Auburn, which is good. So I think Golesh could be a quick success at Auburn, and I think Sumrall, I also like Sumrall a lot to Florida, though Florida seemingly has made good coaching hires a couple of times that just didn't work, and so I'm a little curious to see who's going to break the Urban Meyer curse there. The one that's a home run to me, the one that's going to be a home run though, Matt, is Eric Morris at Oklahoma State is going to work. Like that's going to be a home run. I think they're going to be in the top half of the Big 12 immediately next season. And probably playing for some conference championships again here in 2 or 3 years under Eric Morris. So I like all of those hires.
Okay, interesting. I tend to kind of agree with you on Golesh. I like a guy who's able to do it at a very non-traditional. USF had been in a bad way for several years. Facilities were down. They just didn't put much money into it. They really weren't great. We had a Baylor player end up there a few years ago, and it just didn't really go anywhere. And he brought pride to the program. I think so I probably would tend to agree that Golesh is the best. Morris is a good fit for OSU's DNA and like some excitement in bringing, kind of a younger version of Gundy. And let's not act like Gundy didn't have great years there. So a more energized, younger, more updated version of Gundy, I like. The real wild card to me is the guy going to Arkansas. Now, the problem is, of course, you look at that schedule and you go, Arkansas is not going to win any of these games. And, of course, they're going to give up on him in like 2 or 3 years. The thing I like about him is he's got a little bit of an NFL background, okay? He's been with some really good coaches. He's, since 2023, great record, 29-9, and he's good against those Power 4 teams. In the bowl games, if you look, that guy beat Iowa State. He beat other Power 4 teams. He beat Arkansas this year. Let's not act like Arkansas didn't have a high-powered offense, and that was early in the season when they were still playing okay. They beat Taylor Green and them 31-30. Now, it's not great, Scotty, that I get it. Arkansas fan base is like, who? Ryan Silverfield, really? I mean, now again, would Golish have just set their hair on fire? No. None of these fan bases are really that reasonable. I mean, I guess the reason I like Golish over some of these other guys is because Sumrall went to a place where Fritz had already got it going, and a non-traditional place where they hadn't won a lot of ball games, and Willie Fritz, who's now at Houston, got that program going. And Sumrall kept going, which is great. Golish went to a place where they just didn't do anything, and it was just a mess. And he didn't mind doing it because he'd been at places. Golish, if you look at his resume, has been able to be a really good recruiter at at different SEC stops. And you got to like that he's been in the Big 12. I think he's been in the SEC, and he's been in the Big 10, I think. I think there was a Big 10 stop in there somewhere. So I like the guys that have a wide range. Now, the one we have not talked about, Scotty, that is kind of interesting to me is, and this was a marriage of convenience, but that doesn't mean it's not going to work. Ole Miss had a talented young guy in Pete Golding, 41 years old, who had been the defensive coordinator at Alabama. Now, I'm sure, I don't exactly, I'm trying to think when his time ended at Alabama. Was there one more year that Saban was there? I got to look back at the timeline, but he left Alabama to go be with Lane at Ole Miss and did a nice job. I mean, I remember this year Ole Miss when they got into a haymaking fight with Georgia. Ole Miss was giving up some huge yardage. They were giving up a lot of points. I think Golding is respected, but he was not a guy, unlike Sumrall and Golish and maybe even Silverfield, he was not being pursued by other teams. He is staying to try to get them through the college football playoff and to stabilize that program and try to keep everybody from hitting the portal, which I would hate. I would hate if they lost some good kids immediately that had helped them get to the playoff. That'd be so bad. I mean, Lane's already making a villain decision. Is it the wrong decision? I don't know. He made what he thought was the best decision. And I do feel a tad bit of empathy for him because listening to him saying, I wish my dad was here, all of that, I get that. That resonates with me. But he didn't have to take the LSU job. They would have paid him $11 million or $11 or $12 million to keep winning in Oxford, Mississippi. You think that's bad? And then if he kept winning, he probably could have gone to the NFL. I mean, Matt Rule went to the NFL from Baylor. Okay, and I'm a Baylor guy, so I'm not trying to say, Baylor. I mean, that sounded like I did. But you don't think Lane Kiffin could have gotten an NFL job from Ole Miss? Absolutely he could have. So, again, this thought that, this mean old calendar, it's the college football needs to fix its calendar. I agree. That's fine. But let's not act like Lane didn't have some agency in this thing. All right? This was about, and again, he tried to even blame it on Pete Carroll. Here's Pete Carroll getting his teeth knocked in with the Raiders, and Lane says, well, Coach Carroll told me to that my dad wanted me to take this shot at LSU. Okay, whatever. I mean, Pete Carroll, I guess, tells you to do anything, you go do it. All right. Although I once made a career decision based on some advice I got from Bill Parcells many, many years ago, and I came to regret the decision almost immediately. Although I hung tough. I didn't go racing back like I kind of wanted to. I hung tough for about 5 or 6 years. All right, Scotty, what else do we have? Do we have any other campus confidential to hit?
Man, you touched on it. I think the only other thing I definitely wanted to hit today was indeed Jamarian Carlton, Baylor's highest ranked recruit in about a decade, flips to Texas. Jamarian Vincent, the Waco kid, Waco Connolly, flips to Michigan. And all kind of crystal ball predictions are that Jordan Clay, who would be, I believe, the highest ranked receiver Baylor's gotten since Tyquan, if not Corey Coleman, will flip to Washington. And this is, of course, after Baylor loses to Houston, fails to reach bowl eligibility. And, Dr. Linda Livingstone 2 weeks ago said we were going to keep Dave Aranda because it was so important to keep together this remarkable recruiting class. Matt, this recruiting class was ranked 27th coming into Saturday. I believe now it is about 56th. And if Clay flips, it'll be in the low 60s nationally.
But Scotty, tell us what we've won. We get more players in the portal. All right. That's the new rallying cry. Get that portal. Spending way too much money. Some of these freshmen, I'm not saying they missed on Taz and Camoran Morgan. I'm not saying they missed on them. I mean, I hope they do great. Caleb Burns, all these guys. I want them to be great. But it's a lot of money to spend. I mean, even, Texas, when they go out and they spend a bunch of money on a freshman, like Colin Simmons from Duncanville, they want those guys to get on that field and to start getting some sacks. And he did. That kid showed up. NFL body, NFL speed, twitchy as all get out. Let's go, Colin. Is that his name? Seems like his name. I don't know. I'm still kind of in a holiday, kind of a laid back mode, which is fine. I mean, I think most of the information is still in my head. My presentation may just not be quite as formal as usual. As if I'm ever formal. All right, Scotty, that was good. That was a good session there. We will hear from Lane Kiffin here in a minute. I think we need to do another break here in a minute. But I did talk to Ren Baker earlier today, the AD at West Virginia. And Ren's a great friend of Max, and I think I think that's his primary concern. Ren is very, very, I think, committed to doing an incredible job at West Virginia. I think he's he would be a great candidate, but he has not heard from Baylor. And I'm not saying he's interested. He didn't say he was interested or not interested. He just simply told me he has not heard from Baylor at all. And I hadn't checked in with him today, but Jeremiah Dickey was the same. I'm absolutely biased here because I think Jeremiah is awesome and he's a great friend of mine, and it would be a great situation for me to have Jeremiah back on the deal. But I mean, it just doesn't. I don't know. But even our buddies Colt and Ashley over at Sikkim 365, Colt Barber and Ashley Hodge, and I try to not bring any of. I'm on their premium boards because I'm a member of their deal, but I try not to share any of their premium information with you, so they'll keep coming on with me and won't get mad at me. I'm an easy, how could people ever get mad at me, Scotty? Isn't it hard to even fathom? But they do from time to time get mad at me. Not those two. I'm sure they have at some point, but I would say they're not they seem to not be in total agreement as to a couple of these ADs, which is fine because I think they have different people they talk to, and I have different people. So we'll see where it all ends up. But I was just trying to kind of keep you updated on the AD. The one, it does not seem like the guy from UNT, Jared Mosley, cousin Jared, it does not seem really like he's in the mix. There was some game the other day I was watching, and they were trying to throw to Emmett Mosley. Who is Emmett Mosley? There's an Emmett Mosley in my life somewhere in college football. They were throwing the ball out, and they said, Emmett, he's looking for Emmett Mosley. That guy's a great receiver. I just can't remember what team or what game that was. I think it was college football. All right, we're going to continue. And in fact, we'll hear from Lane Kiffin, and then I'll kind of try to make sense. The Cowboys won again. They're 6-5-1. They're kind of slowly trying to peek their way back into the playoff race. So I think we needed to talk about that. We'll do all that next.
If you want the best for your body, you want Ascension Providence, the largest sports and orthopedics booth in Central Texas. Using innovative and cutting-edge technology, we're able to understand your body better than ever, delivering treatment with precision. And with our fellowship-trained and board-certified doctors, you'll receive excellent care. Work with a team dedicated to your health, wellness, and safety.
So you can perform
at your best.
Ascension Providence, caring for Texas families for over 120 years.
When Central National Bank decided to partner with Baylor women's basketball, we were hoping Coach Collin would bring that championship mindset to do whatever she has to do to take our workplace culture to the next level.
Well, these donuts are pretty good.
Guys, how we doing?
We're good, Coach.
Craig! What are you doing?
What do you mean?
You have to dunk it.
So far, I think our employees are really enjoying it.
Not everything's a basketball thing.
Did you say something, Craig?
No, ma'am.
That's what I thought.
Dude, I think she likes you.
Central National Bank, proud partner of Baylor Athletics and Baylor Women's Basketball.
Introducing Muck-Off's classic pink bike cleaner, powered by revolutionary nanotechnology that breaks down dirt and grime on a microscopic level while protecting your bike's delicate finish. us.muc-off.com.
At Open Goal USA, we're revolutionizing training for both soccer and lacrosse with our innovative portable rebounders. Perfect for players of all ages and skill levels. Visit opengoaalusa.com and elevate your training today.
Looking for tickets to the hottest shows, games, and events? Ticket Liquidator is your one-stop shop for great prices, no hassles, and guaranteed tickets. Whether it's sports, theater, or concert, for the best seats at the biggest events, start with Ticket Liquidator today at ticketliquidator.com. Ticket Liquidator.
Send money abroad in just a few steps with Remitly. Sign up with your email, enter an amount, choose how your loved ones receive the money, enter your recipient's information, select a payment method, hit send, and relax. Download the Remitly app today.
Hi, I'm Mitch, the co-founder of Cake, a sexual health and wellness company designed for today and designed for you. Yes, you. The entire product line can be found at hellocake.com, and it's also available in every Walmart near you.
It is Matt Mosley show. Lots to get to, and man, not the least of which the Cowboys are rolling, and that's fun. It's fun right now. Cowboys are could get to 7-5-1 against a Detroit team that does not look that great. Dan Campbell's taken over the play calling, but they lost on Thanksgiving. I mean, we're used to seeing them lose on Thanksgiving, but not since they got the great Dan Campbell going and went to what did they go to, the NFC title game? They didn't make a Super Bowl, did they? Surely not. They at least made the NFC title game, but they've been unbelievable in recent years, but not on Thanksgiving. So lots to go on. I hope you guys had a very happy Thanksgiving, and I am going to kind of get you updated on a few things. And I was just talking about it. And so just to kind of reset, Scotty, we had a lot of coaching carousel stuff to get to. I thought you would like, Scotty, that on the Pat McAfee show, I was just during that break, I was looking at this. Marty Smith was telling the story of being blocked by some fire engines, and Lane Kiffin was trying to tell him where he was out at the airport, and Marty Smith somehow went through the woods to get to him to do the interview, to get the exclusive that we're going to see here in a minute. So pretty crazy scene. I've done some interesting things to get to where I need to be. I was somehow out on the tarmac one night when Mike Zimmer landed after being offered the head coaching job at Nebraska. And Mike Zimmer shared with me as he got off the plane to come back in Dallas that he was going to stay with the Cowboys. And this was 2004 or 5. And Mike Zimmer's salary went from $500,000 to $1 million back when that was crazy for a coordinator. And at the same time, Sean Payton turned down Al Davis, Raiders owner, was offering that job. Sean Payton turned him down, which is probably a good career move, by the way. And he also went from $500K to $1 million. And during that search, Sean Payton, I'll tell you that story someday, but Sean Payton absolutely went off on me one night. My wife could hear him down the hall screaming at me over something. He was mad because he'd been out of town, and the internet was just a kind of a new thing in 2004. And I had been getting all my information from Sean's wife. And, and in the morning news, I was putting it right there. I said, so-and-so, he'll be back according to his wife, Beth Payton. And I was a young reporter. I was told not to use anonymous sources. So I was using Sean's wife and as a source. And by the way, I didn't cause this by that, but they did later get divorced. But she was filling me in just blow by blow of everything that was going on. All right, we'll get to that in a second. The Lane Kiffin. Let me just say this, Scotty, and let me look at the time right now. What are we? It's 2:20. We're about 1:13 into this show. All right. I like to kind of look at. I like a good, Scotty, what I like to talk about is a good timestamp in life. All right. I will say that, and I'll reinforce something I said a minute ago. I did talk to Ren Baker, the AD. I talked to him this morning via text at West Virginia. And he's not told anybody he's interested or pursuing the Baylor job. It just makes sense because everybody knows him. He's great. He was at UNT. He was a very successful AD there. And then he's at West Virginia now. And I think some people think he might love getting back to Texas. I think he would listen. I'm not saying for sure he would take the job, but he informed me that Baylor has not even reached out. All right. And he didn't say it like that. I just said, have you heard from Baylor? And he's like, no. And Ren and Jeremiah Dickey, I'm better friends with Dickey. So again, but these guys are both pretty, very blunt, not blunt, but just very upfront, matter of fact people. Jeremiah has not heard from Baylor. I mean, Dickey would be the one that knows everybody, knows who's been hired, knows who's in charge of NIL, who's in charge of this, who's in charge of that. He knows Jovan and Cody and everybody that's on staff at Baylor. He's got great relationships with all. So he would be able to move the quickest of any of the candidates. And plus, he's gone off to Boise State. He hired a great coach. That's Spencer Danielson, the coach at Boise State's a great coach. I mean, I think they're playing again for the American. I mean, aren't they playing for the whatever they're in? The Mountain West, or I guess they're the Pac-12 now. Whatever they're in, they're playing for the conference championship. He hired a great coach at Boise State. I think Baylor would be, crazy not. But again, I don't know who Baylor's talking to. I can't. Most times I'm like, okay, this person's on the committee, this person. I do know that they're using Bob Bodine, who I've known Bob for years. And the guy from Bodine, what's it called? Davis and Bodine. Anyway, the Bodine has the company search firm, but Bob Bodine's the face of that whole thing, and he runs that search firm. They've got the search. All right, Bob Bodine's running the search. Kevin Gall, who's a great friend of mine, is the head of strategy for Baylor. He and Bob worked hand in hand. He came from there, and Mac went and hired him from Bob Bodine's company. So again, it stands to reason that Bodine would get the search. They got the search when Baylor hired Matt Rule. That was Bodine and them, I'm pretty sure. All right. Or was it? Anyway, 2016, I think they got that search, and I think they probably helped Baylor get Mack Rhoades. And for as mad as we all can be at Mack Rhoades, the guy did a really good job. He did. Baylor was in trouble when he arrived. He stabilized things. He made a great hire in Matt Rule. Obviously, he made a great soccer hire. Michelle Leonard's been incredible. I mean, he did a lot of great stuff, okay? He's going through some stuff in his personal life, and we all do. We all have some bumps in the road, and unfortunately, this one derailed his career. So is it his fault that Baylor doesn't have hasn't fired its coach and has a new head coach right now? Sort of, yeah. He screwed up. He would be the first to admit he messed up. Could Baylor have somehow tried to keep him? I guess. I don't think he did anything that you can't be forgiven for. My gosh, if we believe in the same God, there's almost nothing you can do, right? That you can't be forgiven for. People say, well, what about that? What about that sin? I don't know. I don't get into that. I certainly don't try to, rank these things. But there are certain things, obviously, you can't do at Baylor that you could do at other places. And unfortunately, I think he checked one of those boxes. But it didn't help that he had the thing happen with Trigg, and then there was other stuff that was reportedly happening, allegations of maybe maybe not being kind in the workplace. Gosh, I'd like to meet a kind workplace. Oh, wait, they do have Rogue's very nice, but I'm talking about before that, Lord help. Wish I could tell y'all some of the things I saw in the workplace make Mac look like a teddy bear. All right, I had a guy at ESPN one time, and again, I get along with him fine now, but screaming at the top of his lungs, like at the ESPN newsroom, like an old school, like what you'd see in the movies, just screaming at me. This stuff happens. People like, oh, they looked at me wrong. Oh, I didn't like the way that tone of the email was. I'm just saying, I'll show you tone. My goodness. But all right. So I was just trying to kind of reset what's going on. Okay. I don't know. So Dickey and Wren, I think they're keeping a really good rap on this search. It keeps coming out. I don't think she's talking to. I don't know. I don't even know. Like Jeremy Fudge is a friend of mine who's a huge Baylor donor. I've had no signs that he's involved. There's other donors, big money donors that I know. Nobody's reached out to them. I don't exactly know who she's leaning on. Like, I know some of the board members that would like to probably weigh in a little bit. She's not talking to them. I don't know. I don't know exactly. I mean, I'm trying to get to the bottom of this. Now, again, this Bodine is good at what he does. And Bob's like some kind of Zig Ziglar motivational speaker. One time he made me, first time I met him, and he had me do this thing where I sent text. I don't know if you've ever heard of this, to like my loved ones. Like, I think they're all scared something was happening to me. Because, of course, I don't sit around like saying things and saying all this. I tell people I love them, but I don't say these crazy, meaningful comments that he told me to send. I had my family, they're like, oh my gosh, let's go try to rescue Mosley, like I've been kidnapped or something. But a good guy. He's a good guy. And he's been out there on the Rangers board of, I don't even know if it's out there that Bodine's running this search. I guess I should look. I haven't seen it out there anywhere. So anyway, that's who's running it. Somebody may have put it up on Sick'em. If you hear it on, by the way, if you hear something on here and you want to go post it on Sick'em, I'm okay with that. It's not like we're putting this behind a paywall. In fact, if you go sign up right now, we'll do it for free, and you can sign up for the YouTube channel. And then if you have little comments and stuff on the YouTube channel, we'll put them on the screen. So anyway, that's the way the search is, like, not really happening that quickly. They're being very quiet. There's no reason to talk about like a future coach because Aranda's coming back. I know some of you out there were like, well, could you make Spavital the interim head coach and get rid of Dave? I get it. I mean, can I see a reason you'd want to do that? Sure. But I don't think they're going to do that. Here's what I think will happen. I think, you continue the AD search. Dave's going to try to be out there a little more. He's going to do this news conference with the recruits. I think that's good. I think that's something Brent Ingram, the head SID football and kind of the head of all the SIDs, I think that's something he's pushed. I think right now he's got the hammer because, I think people are saying Dave needs to do more of this. And I think Brent, who's probably tried to get him to do more, will be able to get him to do more is the way I'm reading this. So Dave will do that Wednesday. I think a new defensive coordinator will be brought in. And you go, well, why would anybody come? Well, that's a fair question. But, is there a talented defensive coordinator? If Baylor's willing to pay, you say, does Baylor have any money? I think so. That's one thing Mac always did. Mac paid. He did not get beat a lot he didn't get money whipped. They got beat on Rob Wright, but they weren't going to pay him $3 million. They offered him $1 million. BYU came in for $3 million. Okay. But when it came to coaches, he rarely lost out on that. We were going to lose to the freaking Carolina Panthers when they came out for Matt Rule. Were we going to be able to pay Matt Rule more than the Carolina Panthers? No, I don't think so. All right. But they were pretty good at that. They were able to retain the soccer coach recently, and she's great. I'm laughing because I went from an NFL coach to soccer, but I love soccer. And I don't love soccer, but I do love this soccer coach, and I love our program. So that's all good. So here's what Baylor's going to do. They'll have to money whip a defensive coordinator. And could that be an older person who's got a great – I would you'll laugh at me. I'd be trying to find somebody like Kevin Steele. Like people are like, no, don't bring him back. He brings back bad memories. But I'm talking about like either a really extremely talented young up-and-coming defensive coordinator who's dying to call plays, or somebody that's been established and maybe they're out right now, or maybe, who knows. Phil Bennett, Phil just had neck surgery. Could you bring him back? Art's old defense coordinator. I asked Art recently if he's getting the game back together. He said he has a young D1 coach that's going to come with him, but he wouldn't tell us who it is. But somebody You got to get. I mean, Dave can't call plays next year. Dave was horrible. I mean, and again, you say, "Oh, Mosley," would you say that to his face? Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm not, you saw Lane Kiffin the other day go after somebody for calling him a hoe. You call me a hoe, which was just dumb. Whatever the line was a guy, it was a young guy. He was trying to be interesting on the deal. And it was something about, I don't even want to get into it. But Lane confronted him, and people are like, well, you didn't come back at Lane. What'd you want the kid to do? Fight him? The kid was probably scared to death, and everybody's looking over there, and he didn't know what to say. All right? I mean, I've had players and coaches come after me. Well, what are you going to do? You can't, literally fight them. I had, T.O. came after me and was doing a whole, challenging me, saying, what you going to do, chump, to me, outside the locker room. And I literally was just like, well, I'm probably not going to fight you, T.O. That seemed like a real bad decision on my part, but I'm just remembering these kind of run-ins that I've had over the years. That was the one where he called me out after the game, not knowing that was great. I was like, okay, we now have a radio liner forever. Okay. So anyway, all that's going on. I don't know. So they're going to get a new defense coordinator. It will not be Pallage. I don't know what will happen with Pallage. I like Matt, and I think he's a talented young coach, but he's not going to be the defense coordinator. They will hire somebody to call plays, and Dave will try to go back and be a head coach and do whatever he can. I mean, the one thing Dave has proven is that he's good at doing is firing coaches, and he's run through a lot of them. I mean, I would not even have any issue him bringing Ron Roberts back. I mean, those were compared to this mess, those were the glory days. I would have no problem with him bringing his old buddy Ron Roberts back. But again, let's think about who Dave's been on staffs with over the years. Gary Patterson. Absolutely. I don't think Gary would do it. But if he could convince Gary to come out of retirement and call plays and be the defensive coordinator, absolutely. Again, the problem is you can't have too big a personality around Dave because Dave doesn't really have a personality. And so and by the way, Dave knows that. Dave has tried. He's funny. He is smart. And all the quirky, funny, smart stuff is great if you're winning. But when you're losing, it just further infuriates everybody. So there is zero pulse to this program, zero excitement, and they're losing recruits by the day. But get your season tickets. Step up and get your season tickets. All right. We'd love to see you out there at McLean next year. All right. Tell you what we'll do, Scotty. Let's look at that. I want to show folks. This was apparently Marty Smith. God love him. He went through a forest of trees and he ran through to get around these fire trucks and get to where Lane Kiffin was near the tarmac, where he was about to get on a plane to go to LSU. Whatever it took to land the big interview. Good for Marty Smith. Marty Smith's making a lot of money. He's good at what he does. He's kind of, I think sometimes it almost seems like he plays up the accent more than it needs to be, but whatever. I think that's how he talks. And he did a great job. He did a great job getting the people go, well, he's at ESPN. Who else is Lane going to talk to? He still fought his way through and landed the key interview. This is the interview with Lane Kiffin before he got on the plane to go to Baton Rouge yesterday.
You've just left your last meeting with the Ole Miss Rebels and you're getting ready to get on an airplane to Baton Rouge, Louisiana. What is going through your mind right now?
Well, first I just watched you do something unbelievable and go off-road around the fire trucks to get here, so amazing job by you. You know that this was a very challenging, difficult day. You know, we went through a lot last night with Keith Carter trying to figure out a way, you know, to make this playoff run work and be able to coach the team. And at the end of the day, that's his decision. And I totally respect that. I understand that decision. And, so I just totally wish the team the best of luck, wish that I was coaching, but understand that it was a very challenging position for him and the chancellor to be in, and totally respect that. So, just really hope they play really well and go win the national championship.
What drew this decision out so long?
It was really difficult. This has been a really special place. 6 years here. I know that there's a lot of feelings and emotions right now around. I hope when they settle down that there's an appreciation about what we were able to do here and having the best run that's ever been done in the history of the school, and brought some exciting times. So I'm so appreciative to the people of Oxford and the relationships that I developed here. And when I spoke at my dad's funeral, he moved 17 times. And I realized when all the people, I got all the letters, calls, people showed up from around all those different spots, NC State, all the different spots he coached. And they said he was able to impact them and how much that meant to them. And so I've really strived since that day to really try to impact people and help people through life, through my journey. So just prayed a lot and made a family decision and, hopefully get a chance to go, impact a whole new set of people.
I understand you didn't attend the meeting today. Why not?
Again, I totally respect Keith's decision.
So that was his decision?
Yeah. He asked me not to come to the meeting and said I couldn't come, but which I totally understand. I don't know that I necessarily agree with that. We're trying to find a way, to make this work and coach the team and give the team the best chance to win. But I also, he's got a job to do, and like he said, he has to live here. So, like he said, maybe all the national people understand why he should let me coach, but he has to live here, and it's a little different when you're the AD. So totally respect that. And Keith has been amazing to us over the 6 years.
Why was LSU the right choice for you?
Yeah, just, there was something in me. This was really hard. My heart was here. But I just, I talked to some mentors, Coach Carroll, Coach Saban, and especially when Coach Carroll said, man, your dad would tell you to go, man, take the shot. Take the shot. You've accomplished a lot here. I always hated how we only gave 1 year to Tennessee and left. I really hated that feeling of that, even though it was an exciting year. But, I think that we gave a lot to this program and to the city, and, some of the most historic wins in this stadium we've ever had, and best regular season in the history of the school. So I feel proud of that part. But it just became time, I talked to God and he told me it's time to take a new step. It's a new chapter.
Some people will look at this and say, okay, it is the best season in the history of the school, the best era in the history of the program, a playoff team with an opportunity to win a national championship. So what does LSU offer in your mind that Ole Miss doesn't?
I don't know all that. It just was something that I prayed on and made a family decision. And maybe it's right, maybe it's wrong. But I think a lot of times, you just go prove things right. And that's what we're going to do when we get there.
Last thing. I know this has been an emotional time for you. What are the specific emotions that you'll be watching your team on television playing in the college football playoff?
I don't know that. There's so many emotions today, and it was so rushed. This isn't a normal job, and so I'm not complaining about the job. This is a very abnormal job that you don't get a chance to just go places, look around, make decisions, maybe start in 4 months or something when you relocate. So this is one of those strange jobs that you got to get on a plane and go. So I hate that part of it, and but it is what it is.
One last thing that I meant to ask a moment ago. What role did your desire to bring some offensive staff with you or some staff members with you play in the decision taking a moment?
In decision of what?
In the decision to be finalized.
Oh. Yeah, there was no, I guess there's a narrative, because I had talked to the players about that someone pumped a narrative in them that there was an ultimatum to coaches or something like that they had to go. There was nothing. Every coach has their own decision to make, and I would never give them ultimatums like that. And so, those are all their own individual decisions.
Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it, man.
All right.
See you soon.
Bye, bud.
No, man, I like that. Good bro hug. We typically don't hug people we interview right at the end of it, but Marty did a good job there, got the key information. I don't think anybody feels sorry for Lane too much. I do like he kind of pegged it on Pete Carroll. Oh, Pete Carroll told me to do this. I didn't really want to do it. He even said, Scotty, that his heart was really more with Ole Miss. Oh, my gosh. These guys are mercenaries. Like, you know, as much as Baylor people loved Matt Rule, and I still like Matt a lot, but Matt Rule was wired to, he was wired to go from the day he arrived. He was ready for what was next. Not that he didn't do an incredible job and he turned the program around, but it's an amazing thing. We always think, oh my gosh, how can they get over this? Or leaving these people they've poured so much into. These guys are wired differently. This is more of a, these are machines in a lot of ways. And the guy at Memphis can the next day be in Arkansas in all his Arkansas gear and just be a completely different person. I mean, he's the same guy that from a intellectual X's and O's and all that, but they're like pastors. I mean, these pastors, you go, oh my gosh, how could he leave this place after 10 years, 15 years? I mean, he loved these people. Well, he got more money. Maybe God told him to go there. He got a bigger flock. And the minute he gets there, man, it's boom, boom. And maybe that's a good parallel. These are kind of like pastors. I mean, these are, but it's when we're talking about these college coaching jobs, these are hired guns. With the minute they may still, talk about some of the relationships and some of that'll be important. But I mean, old Matt Rule flushed all of us that day he left Waco. You think like he looks back and maybe there's some fond memories and maybe his kids did some, went through some things in Waco or there's some fond memories that they have. But these coaches are always like, what's next? What's next? What's next? The one guy out there that still likes to hand it to Baylor and still has bitterness, like Matt and others are just so far removed. Like if Dave Aranda had gotten fired and then immediately gotten hired at Wisconsin or wherever, that the whole Waco time, he would flush that so fast you can't believe it. Well, first of all, he didn't even bother. He barely knows anybody's name still after 6 years. He has no relationship with the media. He has no relationship with really the fans. He knows who the biggest donors are, but he doesn't know anybody. The only one that still kind of cares about what we think and what we say is Joey McGuire. There's a chance Joey could be watching from that office this very afternoon because Joey wanted the job and Mac went outside over Joey. And I don't even now, I understand why the decision was made. Do you hire a guy who's never been a coordinator, who was brought up by Matt Rule, was a great high school coach? Do you put him in charge of a Power 4 program, Power 5 back then? I don't know. I think a lot of the players would have loved it and the fans and all that, but it wasn't at the time like a horrible decision by Mac Rhodes. As I've said before, Mac made a the best decision he could make at the time, but he made it under false pretense. He made the decision when NIL and portal didn't exist. And when that was the case, maybe Dave was the right choice. But with NIL and portal, like Joey is a million times better than Dave for all that, just because the way he's wired. I mean, Joey's cut out of the same cloth like Mac Brown or Rule or any of those people who were great at the podium, great in front of people, great in living rooms. I think Dave's fine with recruits. I think it works. I think parents think he's really genuine. but it doesn't matter. Money talks. Money. This when it's Jamarian Carlton and Jamarian Vincent, all the Jamarians, when they're all huddled up like, well, should we stay with the lame duck, Aranda, or should we, Texas offering us like $1 million. I think I'll go take that $1 million. I think I'll go take $1 million. So Baylor's class, as Scotty detailed, crumbling. Is this what crumbling looks like? Crumbling as we speak. It's sad. It's sad. I mean, is Baylor ever going to recover? Well, yeah, they could. They recovered from a horrible scandal of 2016. They put it all back together again. I mean, if there's anything Baylor can do, it's come back from scandals. 2003 basketball scandal, 2016 football scandal. That's all Baylor does is come back from scandals. You're telling me they can't come back from the Jamarians leaving? Come on now. Sure, they can come back from it. But it may be painful. It may take some time. All right, let's take care of our folks here. Scotty, real quick, and then we'll come back, close it out with a couple of Cowboys thoughts. That's next.
Bubble wasn't here. I don't know what people would be doing, like making PowerPoints or something. I love that I can sit down and build something the way that I think it should be built.
Bubble turns ideas into fully scalable apps. Try Bubble today.
At Covers & All, we've revolutionized protective solutions with cutting-edge, customizable covers, tarps, and curtains. We deliver premier protection at affordable prices and express shipping. Visit coversandall.com today for the perfect fit, guaranteed to last.
Better sleep, inspired by nature. Your back, hips, and shoulders will fall into perfect alignment in any position, meaning that you get deeper, more comfortable rest. Visit ecoterrabeds.com.
Cleanse your body of accumulated toxins and embark on your wellness journey at your own pace. At Global Healing, we provide premium supplements to help your body heal naturally. Start your healing journey today at globalhealing.com and organichemp.com.
Relax with Hemp Delicious. Organically grown hemp, massively blended with delicious organic herbs, responsibly sourced for their holistic benefits. Each sip offers calming, antioxidant-rich wellness. Brewed just for you. Sip the calm with Hemp Delicious.
Is your Mac running slow? Mac Booster 8 is your all-in-one solution to clean up 20 types of junk files. Get your Mac running like new again with Mac Booster 8. Visit macboost.net today.
I know you're gonna love this Kodak Plus printer. You guys just connect it to your smartphone. I can assure you, you are going to love this printer as much as my family has. You guys have to check it out for yourself.
At Matt Piffle, we believe in celebrating your journey. Our unique personalized products are designed to boost your confidence. From custom home decor to meaningful gifts, we help you cherish the memories that make you who you are. Visit mappiffle.com and start celebrating your story today.
Streamline event and appointment booking with Amelia's sleek, modern, and fully customizable booking forms. WPAmelia.com. That's WPAMELIA.com. Amelia. Nalgene Outdoor has been your trusted companion, fueling adventures and helping protect the planet. We're committed to reducing waste, improving access to clean water, and providing simple, safe, and sustainable products for you and your family. NALGENE.com.
A house is a property, but we live in homes. Home sweet home. Home's where the heart is. We aim to deliver the best home buying and selling experience so you can spend less time real estating and more time living.
whypersonalloans.com. Request a loan anytime. Our partners can offer loans up to $35,000 with varying rates and terms. Review your loan offer with no obligation and decide what works for you. Visit personalloans.com today.
This is what $500,000 in a duffel bag looks like. Actually not real. That's because it's actually prop money. It looks realistic from a distance, but up close you can see it says for motion picture purposes. Visit propmoney.com today to get your money seen or money shot right with Prop Money Inc.
With Son, owning iconic furniture no longer requires paying a premium. With over 15,000 satisfied customers worldwide, we've proven that high-quality furniture doesn't have to come with a high price tag. Explore our collection today at san.com.
If you want the best for your body, you want Ascension Providence, the largest sports and orthopedics group in Central Texas. Using innovative and cutting-edge technology, we're able to understand your body better than ever, delivering treatment with precision. And with our fellowship-trained and board-certified doctors, you'll receive excellent care. Work with a team dedicated to your health, wellness, and safety.
So you can perform.
At your best.
Ascension Providence, caring for Texas families for over 120 years.
It is the Mosley Show, and boy, we're coming down the stretch today. We've had some good discussion on several different fronts, and then we'll decide how to go about Wednesday, because I kind of want to be there. Miranda's never talked at one of these days. The only time he did, one happened to coincide with the when they played in that Amon Carter Bowl after the 2022 season. And they had lost Novosad, and everybody thought the world was falling apart when they lost Novosad. We did talk to Dave that day as part of a previously planned bowl thing that they were having for what was that thing called? The Armed Forces Bowl. All right, the coldest day of my life. Oh my gosh, it was like 10 degrees or something there in Fort Worth. What a miserable deal that was. But I did go up there for the old flagship and perform, and got right out there at the wherever they were staying in the Worthington Hotel, I believe. And I think they put us up in a like a breakfast area where nobody could see us. But anyway, I remember doing shows there, and Mac Rhodes, who was always great, always, no matter where I was, no matter what weird area I was posted up. I think I was in the team hotel. He would always take the time to come down, and he made fun of where I was located, which, by the way, it was people from Baylor that for some reason they I don't know, who knows, literally at the team hotels for years where we broadcasted. I'll just say this. Things are about to change, and I think it will be in a very positive way. And any of this, everybody catering to Dave Aranda's needs to keep it quiet, not do media, and all his instincts tell him, don't do media, don't do a signing day thing. Now, this year it might be the right instincts because the class is not doing well. But for the most part, the SIDs, they understand what they're doing. And they know how to coach people up and tell them what they should be doing. And sometimes it's up to these coaches to actually listen. I mean, you think Joey tells his SID? No, a lot of these people at different schools, Tech, Kansas State, all of them, they have talented PR people who help arrange and set an agenda and put it on their schedule and set these things up. And Dave has made life difficult. And those people have never told me that. They've never complained one time to me or any others about their job. But I just know from watching it, Dave doesn't want to do any of it. Well, for better or worse, Dave Aranda's days of being able to go hide in a dark room have ended. And if they tell him to go show up at the country fair or the Berenstain Bear Country Jamboree or the whatever that thing is they do where we tape our pregame show or we do our pregame show live, I think that's called a farmer's market where they just, they sell you honey for too much money. No, I like all that stuff. In fact, that little coffee deal in that white trailer, y'all did a good job. I can't remember the name of it, but my gosh, I went down there to get a cup of coffee and got Scotty something. Scotty wanted the vanilla latte with honey and all kinds of stuff. But it's a really good farmer's market. I appreciate you guys. And it was the first time I actually timed it up where I could go be a part of the market. If Baylor tells Dave Aranda, we want you to go out and buy some of that wicker baskets or whatever they're selling out there at the farmer's market this year, Dave has to go do it. Or Dave, I tell you what, we're sorry we've made you go out to Rudy's 5 times this season, but this year we'd like you to go out to Rudy's and be out in front of those people 10 times. He's got to do it. So this will be interesting to see. Is that going to change anything on the field? Who knows? Who knows? But, President Livingstone wants people to get to know Dave. So Dave will be, if there's a baptism, or if like we're having some bang bang shrimp over at Brazos Landing, and I call Baylor and go, we need Dave over here. By the way, Scotty, it is time for the landing, the beautiful Brazos Landing. This time of day, we always talk about the Brazos Landing. Oh, there it is. You can see the beautiful waves crashing up against the bridge that serves as a buttress. Is that a word? Buttresses. Right up next to the, oh man, it's almost kind of like, and then you look at that gorgeous view of Foster and you go, now those are winners over there. Those people are winners, the men and women. Those programs, they win national titles. All right. That's what we do. Football program, you kind of look over at McLean and you go, ooh, the other day, man, plenty of good seats available. I think some of the Baylor line went up there just to kind of get to know the Houston fans. I'd like to meet a Houston fan sometime. I just don't have a great feel of like who goes to Houston. I mean, they got great fans. The basketball games, they're packed. But like I in my day-to-day life, I never run into somebody that goes, I went to U of H, because I bet they're awesome, but I'd like to meet more of them. We all know Aggies and Red Raiders and TCU people. Rice people, I just think are kind of almost too smart to talk to us. It's just like, hey, sorry, I'm like working out an equation. I think it's hard to make become friends with people from Rice. Just because you'd have to like hang out at their places to meet them, and none of us hang out at those places. Like you'd have to almost be at like a, it's some kind of medical type fair or something, and none of us are going to those places. Or like a math fair. Do they have those? Like a math, like a fun math fair. All right. We've had fun today. I mean, I've had all the fun I can stand. Look at that. Look at that camera. Okay. It is the Mosley Show. For more on this, go sign up in YouTube, and then you too can participate in the wildly entertaining Mosley Show. It happens every day from 1 to 3, and we're so pleased to have you, and we're so pleased to have our wonderful sponsors. Thank you, Fonville, if you're out there today. Great executive. I mean, Nesbitt, come on. We need you. We need you on here. We will see you tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Good night.